What's going on, everybody? Drew Dekes here on the Habs Tonight channel, getting into it here as our trade coverage is starting a bit early here on Sunday before the trade deadline, as the Canadiens have acquired Jon Merrill from the Detroit Red Wings for a fifth-round pick and a prospect, Hayden Verbeek, as well. So going to get right into it with you guys. A lot of people already chiming in on the comments with some thoughts about what the Canadiens are going to do going forward here. So what do we know about Jon Merrill? Well, let's get a screen share up, guys, so that we can get right into it and talk about what Jon Merrill is going to bring to the Montreal Canadiens. And it's going to be, I think this is definitely a nice piece to pick up, especially with Ben Chiarot still being out right now. So we can definitely have Chiarot waiting in the wings a little bit, not rush him back. And that's one definite positive. And let's take a look at his stats and his stature as well. So he's a left-handed defenseman, 29 years old, 6'3", 195 pounds, taken in the second round, 38th overall by the New Jersey Devils back in 2010. So let's get this back up here. So Jon Merrill, definitely going to come in and help solidify this Montreal Canadiens decor. And I personally see him playing on the third pair with Alexander Romanov right now. That's kind of the first impression I get. Putting him in place of, say, Victor Mete, who, of course, as we mentioned on the thumbnail there, is on waivers. So that's another question to ask today. Will Mete get claimed today? And if so, where will he go? So we'll get into some Victor Mete talk. I mean, certainly with everything that went on with him earlier this season, with his agent coming out and saying that he is requesting a trade, this all seemed about inevitable for Victor, and I think he deserves a better chance to play. He's definitely got a lot of ability still, being that he's a potentially, as he gets going, even more of a puck-moving defenseman, but just a mobile defenseman. And for some reason, the first teams that come to mind when I think of where Mete could end up are Toronto, Winnipeg, if you're thinking about the Canadian division, keeping him in the North Division so that he doesn't have to do a quarantine. So that's kind of just the first impression I get. I think teams like Winnipeg or Toronto, maybe if they can squeeze him in, would like to add somebody like him. Winnipeg is definitely looking for defensemen ahead of the deadline here. And but let's get back to Jon Merrill. So we didn't know a ton about him. At least I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I didn't know a ton about him before this, but we'll get the screen share up here because we have a good first impression from Max Bultman. He's a beat writer for the Detroit Red Wings, and I'm going to get his tweet up for you guys here so you guys can get a first impression of Jon Merrill from him. Actually, let me pop this up. Just give me a second here, but definitely had some good things to say about Jon Merrill. So we're going to get that rocking here for you guys. Okay, so first impression that Jon Merrill is one HE double hockey sticks. He's one hell of a trade for Montreal. Merrill has been one of Detroit's best defensemen this season. He makes less than $1 million. He'll help the Canadiens in the playoffs. To get him for a fifth rounder is a great bit of work for the Canadiens. That coming again from Max Bultman of The Athletic Detroit, actually. So definitely a guy who's got some good information on this player. So Montreal Canadiens fans should be encouraged by the fact that we have a depth piece in place like this guy here, and gives Ben Chiarot, again, more time to just take his time with his hand injury. We don't have to rush him back. So definitely a good thing. And, if you look at Jon Merrill's stats, I mean, he played with the Vegas Golden Knights 8 games in the playoffs in Vegas's first season in 2017-2018, 10 penalty minutes in those 8 games. His plus minus is what I'm liking as well, guys. So with the Vegas Golden Knights, a +7 in 2017-18, and then a +16 in 2018-19, +9 in 2019-20, and 36 games played with Detroit this year, 5 assists and a +2. So definitely like seeing those plus minus numbers. Actually, I didn't get that tweet up directly for you guys. I apologize. The one that I was reading, this is what I meant to have up for you guys, was this tweet here. So I'll again read it for anybody who's just joining me. Again, the Montreal Canadiens in the last couple of hours acquiring Jon Merrill from the Detroit Red Wings, a left-handed defenseman. Again, Merrill is 29 years of age, 6'3", 195 pounds. According to Wikipedia, he's 205 pounds. So this, I'm not sure exactly where he's at on the scale, but it looks like maybe closer to the 200-pound mark. So again, Montreal getting bigger on the back end. So, you got a picture when we get Ben Chiarot back. You got, Chiarot, Weber on the top pair, Edmondson, Petrie on the second pair, Jon Merrill and Romanov on the third pair. that's sounding pretty decent. I don't know about you guys. I'll try to get some of your feedback from the comments here. We'll see what you guys are thinking about this deal. And let me just take a quick glance as I'm going over this. Thank you guys for tuning in. By the way, this is obviously a quick live stream that we didn't have planned, but you never know when Marc Bergevin is going to make a deal. So we try and stay ready here on Habs Tonight. And just to let you guys know, in the link below this video is the link to tomorrow's trade coverage right here live on Habs Tonight. Going to be getting some live reaction from one of your favorite Montreal Canadiens of all time. It's ours as well. He's on the show. Dale Weiss will be reacting to as many trades as we can get from him throughout the day, hopefully from the Montreal Canadiens, but also around the league. So Dale will be chiming in, hopefully answering some fan questions, getting his thoughts on the deals that Bergie's going to be looking to make, maybe adding another forward. My dog is in the room right now, so if you hear some barking, my wife is going to be getting home. We're live, so she's going to come grab my little pug Sherman momentarily, so don't mind him. But he's excited too. You can tell Sherman's excited about the Merrill signing. So let's take a look at some of your comments here, guys. Dude, looks like Joe Dirt. I definitely like the Joe Dirt comment. If I could just get Jon Merrill's, I got to get his picture up for you guys here while we're doing the old screen share here. See if I can get this up for you guys here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to just do another screen share. So just give me a second, but definitely some good Joe Dirt comparisons. I love that. Let me see if I can pull his picture up again for you guys. Boom, there it is. Can't really zoom in on it, but you see him there. Jon Merrill definitely got the Joe Dirt rock in there. So I had to make mention of that without a doubt. So, but yeah, guys, this is again a nice depth piece for the Montreal Canadiens going into the playoff run here. The Canadiens losing the last 3 games. Obviously, after tomorrow's deadline, you're hoping that the chemistry is really going to solidify itself with the Habs on the front and the back end, and there hopefully won't be as much giant line juggling. As we know, Dominic Ducharme has had his hand forced to try and do a lot of line juggling. I'll actually pull up the Canadiens' Twitter again because they had a lot of lines juggled at practice again today. And I'd like to even take a look at that again myself. Didn't have a chance to see exactly who was lined up with who. So maybe we can pull that up for you guys as well. So let me see if I can fire this up for you guys. I have to get the English version. I can't do the French one quite yet because if I had a Nick with me, we'd definitely be able to translate in terms of the line pairings from this morning. So let me see if I can get that from you guys. Get that for you guys here. I'll even see if I can translate it. We'll fire it up on the website. We'll get there momentarily, but let's go back to your guys' comments, see what we're thinking about the Jon Merrill signing here. A lot of you guys chiming in. Let's see what we got. All right, that mullet though, yeah, I'm putting that up from a Nick. Definitely loving the mullet from Jon Merrill. This guy is just a pure hockey-looking guy. Oh man. Okay. Yeah, Dale is excited about the trade deadline show, so be sure again to chime in, guys. The link again for our live coverage of the Habs tonight. Sorry, the Habs tonight trade coverage live tomorrow on our YouTube channel here. We'll be featuring Dale Weiss, so do be sure to tune in tomorrow when trades break. We're going to be right on it tomorrow. A lot of us have set time aside so that we can be available when trades break tomorrow. Definitely going to be great to get Dale Weiss's reaction. Dale's been traded a few times, more than a few times, so he'll definitely have some great insight on just on how players are feeling before and after the trade happens. I'm sure we're going to get some great reaction from Weissy for that. Can't really get the lineup pulled up just yet, but let's talk again more about Victor Mete for a second here, guys. So will he get claimed, and if so, where? I just mentioned a few minutes ago, I think that if he's going to stay within the Canadian division and avoid a quarantine, I could see him going to a playoff team like Toronto or Winnipeg. That's just kind of my initial inclination because Winnipeg is going to be looking to add some defensemen as they go into their playoff run here. And I do have some tweets live coming in as well, just in case there's anything breaking. I got Elliot Friedman, got all the insiders lined up here. Some work. Oh, here we go. Hard work getting done today in Buffalo. Sources indicate a Taylor Hall trade is getting close at this point. You heard it first here live, guys. A Taylor Hall trade. I think he's going to go to an American team. That's just my initial inclination as well, because he, again, avoids quarantine. So we're talking about anything possible here on this live stream. We're going to try to stick to the Merrill and Mete conversation. But, I mean, as stuff breaks, why not chat about it, right? So Taylor Hall trade is imminent by the looks of it here. See if I can just fire up a banner. So Taylor Hall trade imminent, according to Darren Dreger. Not that you guys didn't hear it from me already, but we'll just make it more official by throwing this up on the screen. So I thought Montreal might take a look at Taylor Hall. Realistically, just because of quarantine, and also I think Taylor really at this point is really going to go to a contender. I'm not saying the Canadiens aren't. We don't know that yet. But Colorado, the Islanders are not out on Taylor Hall from what I've heard recently as well. So it's going to be interesting to see where he goes, but it sounds like it could be imminent here. You got to love the doing this live stuff because anything can happen. So yeah, again, I'll read it again from Darren Dreger. Some hard work getting done today in Buffalo. Sources indicate a Taylor Hall trade is getting close at this point. So yeah, I mean, there's so many. I think Colorado I think he would really love to take a shot with Colorado, especially with them just acquiring Devin Dubnyk yesterday, the Colorado Avalanche, solidifying their goaltending position because a lot of people really expected that Colorado was already a cup contender for this year, and they needed to solidify the goaltending position. So just keeping an eye on the tweets here as I go. So if I get distracted, that's what's going on. I'm just paying attention as best I can here to anything going on. But as you see at the bottom of the screen here, guys, Taylor Hall trade imminent according to Darren Dreger. And we're going to try to stick to the thumbnail, like I said, as best as possible. We are a Montreal Canadiens show, but we do talk about trades around the league. Tomorrow is going to be an exciting day. The Habs Tonight team getting the first opportunity to do live coverage of a trade deadline show. You guys are going to be able to see it right here with an NHL player, Dale Weiss, reacting to it. So be sure to catch it, guys. The link is below. The link is below on this video right now to make sure that you don't miss tomorrow's Habs Tonight coverage as trades are breaking. So yeah, Twitter is just ready to blow up with with a pending Taylor Hall trade by the looks of it here. Let's see. It's tough. Okay, I think Pierre LeBrun's just retweeting Darren Dreger, but yeah, Victor Mete, man. You know, Victor was it 2017? 2017 was when Victor Mete kind of just came out of nowhere and made the Montreal Canadiens roster right out of training camp. And he was paired with Shea Weber right off the bat, was Mete, and he impressed early. But, you know, because of his experience playing with a guy like Shea Weber, playing with some veterans on the Canadiens, he's had an opportunity to learn a ton. So he's still a value player. His cap hit is $735,000. That's I'm going to be surprised if Mete doesn't get claimed today or by noon tomorrow. That's just my personal opinion. I'll be surprised if somebody doesn't take Victor because he does deserve an opportunity. That's for sure. And he's not getting that opportunity right now with the Canadiens. So I know the Canadiens would like a left-handed shot puck moving defenseman to play with Weber going forward here, but there's nothing for sure on that front. I think the Canadiens adding Merrill is clearly, you know, the guy they were looking for. And by Mete being on waivers today, it's all but sure, at least maybe in my mind, it seems like the Canadiens wouldn't have made this acquisition of Merrill if they didn't think that Mete was going to be claimed. Maybe teams are just sifting through their options right now. But the truth is, Victor Mete, again, deserves an opportunity wherever he ends up. And there's also rumor, this is a side note just as I'm thinking it, but teams are in on Nick Foligno right now, and the Toronto Maple Leafs are one of those teams that are, I mean, if the Leafs add Foligno, look out. I mean, like they're going to be looking pretty good in going into a playoff run. A lot of teams are expecting Toronto to contend this year, and all the power to them. Jack Campbell is just playing his face off right now. He just broke Carey Price's record for most wins. I think it's 11 now. I forget exactly what the stat was, but he passed one of Carey Price's stats, so he's becoming the new Hamburglar right now. By the looks of it, is Jack Campbell. So all the power to him. And with that being said, the Canadiens are going to be playing Toronto tomorrow night, the night of the trade deadline. So it'd be pretty interesting if somehow the Leafs were able to acquire Victor Mete, for example. But just keeping an eye on Twitter here. Kyle Dubas trending now. Bergevin is trending now on Twitter. Just kind of waiting to see what's going to happen next here. Oh, man. But, you know, people are ready to hit the panic button. I mean, in Montreal radio, you hear it all the time that, you know, as soon as the Canadiens are losing a few games, hit the panic button. But again, I mentioned this last night on the postgame show. The Habs are still 8 points up on the final playoff spot. Yes, Vancouver is going to be getting back to the ice this week, but you know, there's no reason to panic just yet with Montreal being 8 points up. So Montreal making this move today, solidifying their defense again. And then Cole Caulfield, I mean, I talk about him a lot, but I think the Habs need him. I really do. I think the Habs need Cole Caulfield. The kid looks ready. And I don't know that Montreal is really going to be able to go after much more forward depth with Armia coming back into the lineup potentially tomorrow against Toronto. Brendan Gallagher, obviously, when he comes back. So how much room do the Canadiens really have to add at the forward position right now? I don't think they have that much unless they're able to do it through trade. That's really the only way they're going to do it. So, Cole Caulfield coming in, I said it last night, could be a week and a half before, Caulfield is actually with the Montreal Canadiens making his debut. I just wouldn't be surprised, truth be told. And, I'm really high on this kid right now, and there's a reason for it. And I think Caulfield is, arguably the most exciting prospect we've had in a long time. The hype is real around him. I'm not going to go for too long on Caulfield. You guys know I just love to talk me some Cole Caulfield, but let's get to the comments. My gosh, you guys have been firing away, and I've been ignoring you, not on purpose here, but trying to do everything all at once is obviously a bit of a challenge, but I'm going to get to it as best I can, you guys. So let's see what you guys are saying here. So he'd roll right into Toronto in an Army tank. I think he's talking about Mete here. Haul to Edmonton. That would be interesting. I think Edmonton really needs it, but are they willing to? The quarantine's only 7 days now. But my gosh, McDavid and Draisaitl, adding Taylor Hall, if he could just have a resurgence with the Edmonton Oilers, would be huge. I know Edmonton desperately needs more scoring to balance out. I mean, Draisaitl and McDavid can't do it all. There was also, I'll mention this too, Nick Delorier there's a deal being worked out between Anaheim and Pittsburgh right now. Elliot Freeman recanted on it a little bit because it's not official, but we could be seeing former Montreal Canadien, former Buffalo Sabre, Nick Delorier going to the Pittsburgh Penguins. I really wish that Delorier got a chance to play in the playoffs with Montreal. He would have been solid. He's a scrappy guy. He can score. He can grind. Kind of reminds me of just like a bigger, stronger Arturi Lehkonen was Nick Delorier. And he was actually my first interview in the NHL as I've been pursuing my broadcasting career. Him and Mark Pysyk, who's now with Florida, I want to say, or am I not sure I'm correct on that? But anyway, Nick Delorier could be going to Pittsburgh very soon. Nothing official just yet. I know that Alyssa Hope is one of our Habs Tonight contributors, and she loves her trades. And I got to tell you, Alyssa, if Delorier goes to Pittsburgh, he's a good pickup for that Pittsburgh Penguins team. He's going to get a chance to finally play in the playoffs. I don't think Delorier has had a chance to play in the playoffs yet, but okay, here we go. As a Red Wings fan, Merrill is a great defenseman. Great trade for you guys coming from Pistons talk. That's more encouragement for Montreal Canadiens fans right there. As a Red Wings fan, Merrill is a great defenseman. Great trade. You know what? That's encouraging. So thank you, Pistons talk, for sharing that, because if we're honest, as Habs fans, not a lot of us really knew that much about Jon Merrill. So definitely encouraging sign there. Let's see what we got here. Again, I think Mete gets claimed. Cap hit is too good on an expiring contract, $553,000. So that's actually the current cap hit for Mete, not the $735,000 that he signed for. Against the cap, no assets to give. He'll probably get snatched just for a warm body for the playoffs. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. Well, this is interesting. That's facts. They ruined Mete and KK by bringing them in right away. I don't think so. I think Montreal really needed the defense when Mete actually made the roster out of training camp. The Montreal Canadiens didn't have a lot of other options at that time. They just lost Andrei Markov. Alexander Radulov was lost on forward that year. But in terms of defense, Montreal was thin. And Montreal traded Sergachev, don't forget, in 2017. So when Mete came in 2017, Andrei Markov and Mikhail Sergachev were out the door. So Montreal needed Mete, I would say. And Jesperi Kotkaniemi still developing, and we're seeing much more positive signs from him. He's playing on the wing right now, which is something new for him. But he's also been fitting in pretty well with Phil Deneau and Tom Tatar. So I have to disagree with that comment. I think KK, when he gets back to center, will really continue to improve. He's been improving in the faceoff dot. And yes, Kotkaniemi did come in as an 18-year-old right from Finland. And that's what I think, quick sidebar on Caulfield again. That's why I like Caulfield coming in when he does, because he's 20 years old and he's had more time to develop, and he still will get a bit more time to develop, but when he's ready, he's ready. Let's see. Mete is a great skater, but he's too small to be a D. I don't think so. I think that the way the game is going forward right now, it's a speed and skill game. So that's good news for Victor Mete. If this is a speed and skill game going forward, as fighting is up this year, but I mean, in terms of just, I think if Victor Mete is insulated with the right defense pair, I think he could excel. So I wouldn't be surprised for some reason if somebody like Tyler Myers went back to Winnipeg. Maybe his cap hit's too high. But I mean, you put Mete with a guy like Myers or something like that, I think that he could excel personally if he has someone strong with him. Mete's been playing with Kulak and Romanov. I think he needs to play with somebody with more experience. That will help, I think, solidify his skill set as well. Was Price at practice today? No, he was not. Price is going to be returning to practice very soon, according to Dominic Ducharme's press conference earlier today. Our top six is looking quite solid, quite playoff-ish. Yes, I do agree with you, Philippe. Philippe Saint Laurent. I love the picture too. That's awesome. But yeah, I agree with you. I definitely agree with you. Over 230 people watching right now, guys. So first of all, thank you. This is your first time on Habs Tonight. This is your one-stop shop for Habs coverage. We have so many shows on this channel, guys. So be sure to catch us tomorrow for live coverage of the trade deadline. Dale Weiss is a co-host on this very channel right here, someone that a lot of us are fortunate to be able to work with. And you're going to love the insight you get from Dale, a guy who's been traded several times, his favorite place to play, hands down, in Montreal. But he's going to give you guys some insight tomorrow on what it's like to be traded, his opinion. I think we would love to hear his opinion on Merrill. We would love to hear what Dale has to say on anything. I think a former NHL player will give unique insight, and you won't get anywhere else here on YouTube, guys. Live tomorrow night on Habs Tonight. Be sure to check us out. It's going to be a fun day. Hopefully Bergie gives us some great trades, but I mean, Dale's going to be reacting as much as he can to any and all trades that we're going to be talking about. So just thank you guys for tuning in if this is your first time. Habs will get hot soon. Well, I certainly hope that you're right. Amit is the name, I believe. Hope you're right, because I think that this is where the Canadiens can really turn it around, is after the trade deadline. So, man, I got to breathe more, don't I? I get going. I talk so fast. Just the excitement, I think, being live on here with you guys. But you need to take a breath here and there, too. This is interesting. Okay, Hockey Junkie, I've seen you a few times, so thank you for chiming in. I don't feel comfortable anymore with whoever is between the pipes. They can have Price, Allen, or Webster. I just want them to score goals. Well, I'm not sure I understand fully what you mean there, only because Jake Allen has been playing pretty solid in place of Carey Price. I think that in front of our goalie is where we need to improve the most right now, and of course, we do need goal scoring. But I don't know that it's between the pipes that's the issue. I don't think it is actually at all, to be honest with you. Excuse me, but I think solidifying our defense is really going to help. I really do think that Jon Merrill is going to come in again. If I can pull up his information again, HockeyDB, according to Wikipedia and HockeyDB, Jon Merrill is 6'5", 205 pounds, has some playoff experience, has a good plus minus, does Jon Merrill. So I would have to say that getting better in front of the goalies is certainly what we really need to focus on. This is a good question from another Habs Tonight co-host, Shane Gaumont. I'm not sure if I'm saying your name right, Shaner, but where do you think Kulak fits in the lineup? Oh boy, this is a tough question, because I feel like Kulak could be on the outside. He could be our seventh guy. I don't know for sure. I mean, Kulak's been a solid depth defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens. He's really fit in nicely, but bringing in Merrill, just with his experience, his size, I'm going to be curious to see where Kulak fits, because I think he could be potentially, I don't like saying the odd guy out, but I mean, he could be our seventh defenseman once Merrill gets in here. As I mentioned earlier, I think the defense lineup for the Montreal Canadiens is going to be this once Sherrod is back. And who knows, if Romanov kicks it into gear and he wants to play it beside Weber, I'm all for that. I mean, just picture this. Let's just say Romanov gets paired with Weber on the top pair and he excels going into the playoffs. Let's just say that happens. Then you got Joel Edmondson, Jeff Petrie on your second pair, Jon Merrill, and Ben Sherrod on your third pair. I'm really liking the sounds of that. So otherwise, you're going to have Ben Sherrod come back in to start with Shea Weber on the top pair, Edmondson with Petrie on the second pair, and then Merrill with Romanov on the third pair. So I think that's a good question there, Shaner, but I don't know. I think he might be our seventh guy on the taxi squad, Kulak, but we'll see. Hall is coming to Montreal. That is not official, by the way. That is not news. But I mean, I don't know if Montreal has room for Taylor Hall. I really don't know. I wouldn't hate it if they got him, but I just don't see it. I don't really see Hall coming to Montreal, but who knows? Kulak has been really good this year compared to last year. I would agree. I mean, he's been getting better. He's a solid piece. I mean, we can't afford to lose him. Kulak's got, I think, about a 1.75 cap hit with the Canadiens. Let's see what else we got here. Montreal went from having too many left wings to the opposite with too many right wings. So I think they trade for a left winger, need one, preferable, a big boy. Well, Taylor Hall would certainly fit that profile maybe, but with Thomas Tatar's contract expiring at the end of this year, really curious to see what they're going to do with Tuna. I really don't know what they're going to do there, but I wouldn't be surprised if Bergie does try to add to the forward group. I know I mentioned Caulfield, but we can't rely on Cole coming in to be the biggest difference maker going into the playoffs. We'll see what he can do if he does get in, but we can't turn away the prospect of acquiring another depth forward. So, okay, let's see what else we got here from you guys. The Drouin bashing isn't very nice. I will say that. I don't know, man. I mean, Drouin is just, he's a hard one to figure out. I mean, I know the guy loves playing in Montreal. Jonathan Drouin has been having a lot more fun playing with the Canadiens. I can say that. It does look to me like he's been enjoying himself more. Now, obviously, fans haven't been, and that's unfortunate because Joe is such a talented player that when he's with the right players, he's unstoppable. And he's the kind of guy you want in the playoffs. He did great in the bubble last year with Suzuki. So I just feel for Joe because we know there's more than meets the eye. It's always been the case with him. One of the most talented players with his, just one of the most talented current players in the league, I would even say. It's just, it's been a tough go for Joe. But once he hits the back of the net, I think the floodgates could open for him. I really do. I missed the 2014 playoffs team. Well, so do we. Dale Weiss can attest to that. That was one of the most fun playoff runs of all time. No doubt about that, Christian. 2014 was so much fun. Beating the Boston Bruins in 7 games was a blast. Oh man, we can get Dale to talk more in depth. And actually, if you guys want to know what Milan Lucic actually said to Dale Weiss in the handshake line, it's on our channel. So go to that clip right now, or after our live show here, and check that out. That was our first episode actually with George Larac, was when Dale talked about the confrontation with Milan Lucic, but you'll love that clip. You got to go check that out. What Lucic actually said to Dale Weiss in the handshake line. That was a great one. That was a great clip. So do check that out, guys. Okay, let's see what else we got, guys. I really appreciate the interaction here. This is the fun part about being live. So Mete did have 4 goals last year. Yes, he did. And Nick Suzuki actually got his first NHL goal the same game that that Mete did. And those guys are buddies. So I know Nick would be sad if Mete did part from the Montreal Canadiens, because nothing's official at this point. I mean, I do think there's a high chance that Mete gets claimed. I'd be surprised if somebody doesn't want his services. I really would. But Mete's a good character guy. I think his agent was just really blowing smoke. It wasn't really Victor's fault, I don't think, for what he did. It was agent tactics. It happens. Let's see. The answer to this question, I don't know about the next week, but yes, I do think that Cole is going to make the lineup in the next week and a half, I said last night on the post-game show. No one will trade Victor to trade anything for Mete. Well, here's the thing. Mete is on waivers, so he can be claimed for absolutely nothing right now. So he does not have to be traded, just to be clear on that. What do we got here? Earlier today. Okay, I'm keeping my eye on Twitter. So, hey, David, how's it going? Thanks for tuning in. You can call me Andrew, too. It's not just Drew. Drew Dekes is the nickname, but everyone's been calling me Dekesy anyway. But you can call me Andrew, too. I don't mind that whatsoever. Okay, Bergie is going to use the extra cap space between today and tomorrow. Will be interesting to see what he ends up doing. Yes, it will. And again, I keep saying it, but check out our live coverage tomorrow, guys. You're not going to want to miss that. This is exactly the line pairing that I said is going to happen once Ben Sherratt is back. Sherratt, Weber, Edmondson, Petrie, Mail, Romanov. That's exactly what I'm saying. So I don't know how to pronounce your name here, but Mullis. I don't know what your name is there, but yes, I would say that there's a very good chance that this is going to be the pairings that you're going to see once Sherratt is healthy again, and Merrill as well. Okay. Ryan Paling comments over here. What do we got? Paling is playing good because he's in the AHL. If he gets brought up at this point, production will drop big time. Well, I think they're going to bring Ryan Paling up, when he's good and ready and when they have room for him, because down the middle, I don't know that there's room for him right now. So keep letting him just develop and keep pushing it in the Val. No doubt about it. I answered this kind of earlier, but I do think that Mete is an NHL defenseman. And the reason I think that is because I think the way the game is going, it does favor a player like Victor Mete because of his mobility. I mean, when he brings the puck up with confidence, he can bring the puck from end to end. I just wish that he would come in and maybe take a shot more often. A lot of times Victor will, go coast to coast and bring the puck into the offensive zone and then dish it off. Where I think that I know it's hard because creating time and space for yourself and trying to get an open shot in the NHL as a defenseman, number one, is hard enough. But I would like to see Victor get more offensive, more of his offensive game going, but he can certainly help out a team that has a strong decor. Yes, I do believe Victor Mete is an NHL defenseman. You guys are awesome. Thanks so much for the interaction, you guys. This is great. Really do appreciate it. Talk to you later, Drew. Yes, we will talk soon for sure. More Caulfield comments. I mean, I'm not alone in that camp, but okay, this one's interesting. So Drouin will be better with Cole and KK. That would be a fun line to watch. Not gonna lie to you, that would be a fun line to watch. No doubt about that. I don't know, man. Maybe it'll just take Cole Caulfield for Drouin to finally get going. What do you guys think about that one? That'd be interesting. Oh man, that'd be fun to see. Oh, that would be great. The only negative Habs so far is Byron being overpaid. Well, here, I'll pull this up. Okay. The only negative with Habs so far is Byron being overpaid for a fourth liner. For 3.5, we could have the good player, and we need to make some damage in the playoffs. Listen, I think Paul Byron is a solid third line player, and him being on the fourth line is kind of a disservice to him. I think he's most confident and most serviceable in a third line role, but the Canadiens are kind of too deep right now. I mean, as weird as that sounds, I love Paul Byron. He got his $3.5 million a year cap hit for a reason, because he earned it. He had back-to-back 20-goal seasons. Montreal loves Paul Byron. He's got an A on his sweater for a reason too. So that's another guy I just really feel for, because Paul Byron is best serviced in a third line role. I don't know exactly who would be the most ideal line mates for him, but again, with the lineup changing as much as it is, it's hard to get consistency out of this lineup and out of a player like Paul Byron, who I feel is most serviceable on a third line role. That's where he's most confident. Habs need a Prust-like player. Well, yes, they do. But you also, speaking of this, guys, check out our interview with Brandon Prust. It was hilarious. Prusty was amazing. On We See Wednesday, we had Brandon Prust on as a guest, to go check out that episode. You don't want to miss it. A lot of great clips also from that episode. So do check out the Brandon Prust interview on our YouTube channel, guys. Really, really good interview. Bring back PK Subban. Well, PK's got 2 more years left with his $9 million cap hit. I know it sounds weird, but I see PK. I don't know why, but I just feel like PK could go to Toronto at some point. I know that they don't have room for it right now in terms of a cap hit, unless you move Nylander or something, but I don't think they're going to move Willie right now. So that's another sidebar. But a weird thing I will say about PK Subban maybe eventually going to Toronto. This is not a hot take that I firmly believe in, but I was thinking, how interesting it would be to see PK Subban on Toronto, kind of as like the ultimate revenge against Marc Bergevin for trading him out of Montreal. But I mean, I was thinking about PK to Toronto like one afternoon randomly, and then the next day, Steve Dangle interviewed PK on his podcast. So I'm like, oh man, that was interesting. Just a sidebar. So who knows? But let's see what else we got here from you guys. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to have to get off here shortly to move on here from tonight, guys. So, or to move on tonight with my night, I had to jump on with you guys to kind of break down All right, so Jon Merrill again. Let's go back to Jon Merrill again. Montreal Canadiens acquiring him today. Left-handed defenseman, 6'3", 205 pounds. His cap hit for the Montreal Canadiens right now is $925,000, and he's again 29 years old. Jon Merrill. A lot of great things coming out of Detroit. I'll see if I can pull back up the tweet I had earlier, which was a very, very good first impression from somebody from a writer from The Athletic, just saying great things about Jon Merrill. Let me see if I can get this tweet back up again for you guys. Just again, a very good first impression. So here it is. I'll get the screen share going in just a moment so you guys can see exactly what the first impressions are of Jon Merrill as a Montreal Canadien, out of somebody that covers the Detroit Red Wings very closely. So I'm going to pull that up for you guys. All right, so here's the tweet. First impression is that Merrill is one hell of a trade for Montreal. Merrill has been one of Detroit's best defensemen this season. He makes less than $1 million. He'll help the Canadiens in the playoffs. To get him for a fifth rounder is a great bit of work by the Canadiens. Okay, I think I got an update from Darren Dreger here. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to see if I can pull. This is hot off the press. 3 teams in. I know this is kind of jumping all over the place, but 3 teams in on Taylor Hall right now. It's believed 3 teams in the mix for Taylor Hall. This is the most recent tweet from Darren Dreger. I wish we knew who those 3 teams were, guys, but 3 teams in the mix for Taylor Hall. Some hard work getting done today in Buffalo. Sources indicate a Taylor Hall trade is getting close at this point. Hall is trending. Dubas is trending right now on Twitter. So, I mean, if Montreal somehow miraculously, some crazy way acquires Taylor Hall, we will jump back on live and talk with you guys about it. But I don't really foresee that happening. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know. I mean, who knows at this point? But just going to close it off here, guys. Going to see what your final comments are here before I sign off. Let's see. What do we need? Oh, hang on a sec. What do we need? No, you guys are commenting too quickly. I can't get it up in time. What do we need? More offense or defense? Right now, it's 100% we need more offense. The Montreal Canadiens 100% need more offense. They haven't gotten more than 2 goals with Jake Allen in net. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but I mean, it's very, very clear with Montreal being shut out last night by the Winnipeg Jets 5-0, and just the lack of goal support for both of Montreal goalies, Carey and Jake Allen. Might see Caden Primo tomorrow night against Toronto. No guaranteed word on that, but we might see him at some point this week, as Carey Price has not returned to practice just yet, but he will. So we definitely need more offense from the Montreal Canadiens side. That's why, oh man, I would love to know if we're in on Taylor Hall right now, but I don't know. I don't have any information on that, guys. And I've gone through this a few times, but yes, we should bring up Cole Caulfield because we need goals desperately. Center is still an issue. Yes, I mean, yes, it kind of is. I mean, Nick Suzuki and Jesperi Kotkaniemi are 20 and 21 years old. That is true. That is true. But, you know, we're not really sure what the future looks like down. There's so much to discuss on the forward and center front for the Montreal Canadiens. Hockey Junkie, thank you so much for your kind words. Very, very kind words. I really appreciate it. You're a great speaker. I could listen to you all day. Well, bless you, my friend, because I appreciate it. Going live, I'm still getting used to it, but this is what I'm born to do sometimes, I think. But, hey, I mean, we appreciate it. Thank you for the kind words. Patrick Waugh, ? As a coach, maybe? I don't know. I think Patrick might be too fiery of a coach for Montreal, as weird as that sounds. We rekindled things with Patrick Waugh. We retired his jersey. I think we should just leave it at that, in my opinion. We need grit on the 4th line. Yes, we could use a bit more grit. I agree with that. We'll see what Bergie does. I'm trying to get to as many comments here before I sign off, you guys. If Stahl works out, do you think it's possible for Deneau to be let go and sign Stahl? I don't think that'd be smart. I think we have... I mean, Eric Stahl is 36 years old, going to be 37 this year. I would love to get a solid... I think Stahl on the 4th line would be perfect as a 4th line center right now, if we had the depth to kind of balance all that. But I think 3rd or 4th line center is where I'd really like to see Eric Stahl right now. Bring back Delorier. Well, Delorier is potentially in a deal to Pittsburgh, so I don't think that's going to happen. According to Elliot Friedman, Nick Deslauriers may be on his way to Pittsburgh from Anaheim, and he deserves a chance to get into the playoffs. Does Nick Deslauriers? Fantastic grinder. I would love to see him. Honestly, if Bergie is going to be in on Nick Deslauriers right now, I wouldn't be surprised. I would love to see Deslauriers back in Montreal. So, Tampa Bay Lightning fan says, Habs are garbage. Thank you for the positive message. That's one opinion. That's okay. You know what? I got respect for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Where am I? I got Victor Hedman right here. So I will show respect even if you don't. How's that? Where's Carol Fleury? That's a really good question. I don't know. I haven't seen a lot of him lately in the Val, to be honest. He wasn't even in their lineup the last few games, so that's a good question. I'm not sure. Okay. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to kind of wrap it up here. I'm going to read this one more time. Well, actually, that's Darren Dreger's tweet, but 3 teams in the mix for Taylor Hall. Let's go back to Pierre LeBrun's tweet here. From earlier, just again, Jon Merrill coming to the Montreal Canadiens. We did talk about Merrill and Mete. Mete has yet to be claimed, by the way, by any team. He's on waivers as we speak, so we're not sure what's going to happen with Victor, but all the best to him either way. I will say that here live on Habs Tonight. Dale Weiss, former teammate of Victor Mete's, going to be coming on tomorrow, guys. Check out that link below this video. There's a link to our trade coverage for tomorrow. Be sure to check that out, as Dale Weiss will be reacting live to as best as he can. We'll be reacting live to Montreal Canadiens trades and just trades around the league. But again, here we are. This is I'm going to lead this, this is the Nick Foligno tweet. Hang on a sec. Just kind of scrambling through here, guys, as we're still live here for a couple more seconds. So again, first impression about Jon Merrill, left-handed defenseman for the Montreal Canadiens, who they just acquired today. That is one hell of a trade for Montreal. Merrill has been one of Detroit's best defensemen this season. He makes less than $1 million. He'll help the Canadiens in the playoffs. To get him for a 5th rounder is a great bit of work for the Canadiens. So we'll leave it on that, guys. Really appreciate you tuning in for this live episode tonight or today with myself, Drew Dekes, right here on the live Habs Tonight YouTube channel. Been fun to jump on with you guys. Appreciate all the interaction. It was a blast. And again, I can't reiterate it enough. Tomorrow's going to be a fun day. The first time the Habs Tonight team is going to be doing live coverage of the trade deadline 2021 all day long. So we'll hopefully have you guys to jump in for that. There's going to be a lot of great stuff coming tomorrow, guys. You're not going to want to miss it. I will say that. Okay, just a couple more things I want to check here before I sign off with you guys. Okay. Yeah. Let me see. Couple things. Just kind of scrolling through. All right. Okay. Last few comments. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I've been talking too much. Let me tell you. Thank you very much, Dick. Good show. Keep up the great work. Go Habs. Really appreciate it. You guys are doing a great job. We really appreciate the positive reinforcement, guys. That's what we're all about on this channel, by the way. So thank you for your time, Alex. Really appreciate you tuning in. So, all right, guys, signing off here. Drew Dekes again. Thank you on behalf of the entire Habs Tonight team. We thank you for tuning in to this episode where Victor Mete is on waivers and Jon Merrill is acquired by the Montreal Canadiens for a 5th-round pick, left-handed defenseman, solidifying the Montreal Canadiens' defensive depth as we go into this final run to the playoffs. We play the Toronto Maple Leafs tomorrow night, so we're probably going to have, I would imagine, hopefully a post-game show tomorrow after the Leafs game, after the trade deadline is complete. But tomorrow, be sure to check out the link below this video, guys, for tomorrow's live trade coverage on the Habs Tonight YouTube channel. Dale Weiss, Montreal Canadiens forward, on this channel is going to be I'm running out of oxygen in my brain, but yes, Dale is going to be reacting to trades tomorrow, guys. Don't miss it. And thanks again for tuning in, guys. This is Drew Dekes signing off for Habs Tonight. Thank you for tuning in, guys. Cheers.